Well, welcome once again. This is the Doctor of Digital, the Doctor of Digital podcast. The purpose of the show is to transform your business and life with education and inspiration. I introduce busy business leaders to trends in business, technology, and marketing to highlight people you should know. Intrigued by the idea of mixing and aligning faith and business? Let's welcome the co-founder of Kingdom Marketing to the show. The co-founder isn't your typical entrepreneur. Sure, his agency offers a full suite of marketing services, from SEO and web design to graphic design and content creation. But what truly sets my guest apart is his mission to create a marketing agency built on a kingdom perspective. This means connecting with businesses that share their faith-oriented values and help them grow their God-given talents. My guest believes your business is a gift, and his agency is dedicated to helping you optimize it and use it to a higher purpose. A background in a higher purpose makes him a fascinating guest. He's a passionate entrepreneur with a deep understanding of digital marketing intricacies, from SEO to strategic advertising. But what truly elevates his unique perspective on merging faith and business. He'll discuss how to reflect your company's soul through website design, create a business that aligns with a greater cause, and, most importantly, use your talents to serve a purpose beyond profit. Get ready to discover how your faith can fuel your entrepreneurial fire. During this episode, we'll do a deep dive into the changes and hot topics of successfully transforming a marketing company into the ultimate purposeful kingdom organization. We will leverage the expertise of my guest and how to navigate the unique dynamics of the field. By the end of this episode, you'll be better equipped to know what to do, and I encourage you to contact my guest, William Reagan, co-founder at Kingdom Marketing. So I want to welcome William to the program. How you doing today, William?
I'm doing just fine. Thanks for having me on. It's a blessing to be here.
You bet. So I'm really curious. Now, this is a very unusual to marketing, something you don't run across every day. Could you tell us a little bit about your background, a story, and maybe to give us some insight to a pivotal moment you said, this is the organization I want to build?
Yeah, thanks for that. It started with a wretch and a person that knew better but fell away from any type of spirituality and thinking about kingdom-oriented pursuits. I
Okay.
went into the military for 6 years after
Oh,
high school and did 3 tours in Iraq. And
wow.
to say the least, it affected me in a way that I wasn't prepared for
Oh,
fully.
okay.
Yeah. And there was a lot of adversity there in my life. Substance abuse, it was a mess, to be quite honest.
Okay.
And about 15 years ago now, I had a coming to Jesus moment. There's no other way to say it.
Hmm.
Christ saved me, and he put me back on my feet and gave me a life and purpose to live. And since then, I was able to actually graduate college successfully, get
Wow.
out, been in business development with Johnson and Johnson as a medical device rep for 5 years. Found my wife in the church, which I am extremely thankful for. It's a woman that I certainly do not serve, but we went on to be entrepreneurs in the Austin, Texas area with the tutoring company for years. We exited out of that, and got back into the corporate world. Did some executive style work as a VP of business development, then director of strategic initiatives. And then all of a sudden, I'm have a friend who's now my partner. The story's getting somewhere. Um, we, we go to the same church, and we were hanging out one night, and every now and again we talk about philosophy and theology. And then Matthew 25, for some reason, came across
Sure.
our view.
Yeah.
And Matthew 25 has this parable in it. It's the parable of the talents. And I don't know exactly what happened that night, and it pierced us like a sword in our heart. And all of a sudden, we realized that even though we were, by all stretch of the imagination, sons and daughters at that time of God, going to church, doing the right things, if you
Hmm.
will, uh, but for some reason, we identified ourselves as the one talent man in this. The story has a 5'2" and one talent individual. And for some reason, I started to kind of account for my blessings and all the opportunities that have been afforded me. And I kind of just felt like I wasn't doing enough. And so then it was a conviction of what is it that I'm supposed to do? Well, I'm a 21st century businessman in the digital world. And those are my talents, those are my opportunities. And so the business started as a call to our conviction. We wanted to start a business and actually form it from the ground up with its core values being particular parables from the New Testament, and that's exactly what we did. We solely believe that everything that is given to us by a greater purpose, and we want to figure out what it is that we're supposed to do here with our time and our effort and our money and our resources, not to glorify ourselves, but to build something else up that is greater than us, the kingdom of God we read about. And it was during this time you keep reading down, and you get to this parting of the sheeps and the goats right after, still in Matthew 25. And we wanted to be a company that did sheep activity. And what qualifies as sheep activity is you took care of the least of these. You took
Right.
care of the most vulnerable, if you will. And
Yeah.
so that was our mission from the beginning. We wanted to be sheep. We wanted to build the kingdom, and that's what we sought out to do. It was a big paradigm shift for us. We were both comfortable in our other positions that we had at the time, and we stepped out of the boat, if you will.
Sure. Now, it's been a little bit down the road here, so I'm curious what sort of changes that you have seen since the point that you started company and co-founded it.
Thank you for that question. One of the strategic plans that we wanted to initiate from the beginning was to find faith based foundations and nonprofits to partner with so that we
Hmm.
could actually see something being built. We believe in measurable results as a marketing company. I'm sure anyone could appreciate that.
Right.
And actually have a measurable result for kingdom activity. And so one of our partnerships is with Sacred Selections. They are a foundation that funds the entire adoption process for a family.
Wow.
So they literally fund all of it, which can be $35,000. And it takes a fatherless child and it puts them into a
Hmm.
good moralistic Christian environment for their upbringing. And so they have recently, this year, went through their 500th adoption. And so
Wow.
we're proud to share in that success. These are the types of things that Kingdom Marketing wants to partner with. Another one, the First Responders
Hmm.
Association, where they are bringing the message and testimony of Christ to the first responders, the police officers out there that feel like they're all alone, they're experiencing trauma, and they're just saying that, hey, you're not alone. And so we always want to partner with our clients in a way where we're actually strategically considering the kingdom when you come up on board with kingdom marketing. And so seeing the mindset shift in our clients, seeing
Sure.
the mindset shift in the way our partners, the foundations and associations, are affecting the world. Um, just within the past year and a half, I am astonished at what God's been able to give us and what He's doing already, and I'm very optimistic, highly optimistic.
It's very unusual, and it's a faith-based, but also very pro-community and pro-positive kind of organizations you're aligned with. And, digital marketing and marketing in general has changed so much, and there are a lot of things that are going on in technology. I wonder if you could address some of the hot topics and people like saying things about AI and how that's going to
Mm.
impact marketing.
Yeah, thanks. It's an interesting aspect with AI because we kind of started to see the rise of there's search engine optimization, and then there's generative um, optimization as well. And so you can go to Chat GPT. Let's say that you're going to Utah. You want to go to
Mhm.
Zion National Park. And you can actually ask GPT to plan you an entire trip and give me all the places that I'm supposed to eat as well on all the days. Give me the best places to eat. Well,
Mhm.
where exactly is GPT getting that information from? You want to make sure that your company also gets generated by this natural response large language model when it says, give me the best steakhouse in Utah. Well, you want your steakhouse to be on that generative response. But where is it actually sourcing the information from? And right now, it's still based on good, tried and true SEO methods on the back end with the
All
search
right.
engines themselves. It's getting it from Google, Bing, and so that landscape right now is still more or less the same. We still play the search engine optimization game properly to make sure our generative responses are still rising to the top. There's new and exciting things coming along, though. How do we actually use agents within GPT to optimize the SEO process? There's a lot of cutting edge new developments in our ability to backlink, find keywords that took individuals, sussing that out for half the day to an AI agent being able to assess what it is that your company is all about, what your website is, what sources are. And
Mhm.
so, as a tech nerd myself, I love staying up to date with all this stuff because it only allows our agency to be more nimble and more streamlined for our customers when it comes to these advancements in technology. And they are moving super fast.
Definitely. It's a quick moving organization and technology. There's no question about it. So I'm wondering if you could recommend some things for business owners because you have a very unique approach and some groundbreaking ideas. And in fact, maybe a very unique perspective, which I think it is, being an organization that's kingdom building. Is that a positive? And I'm so curious, can that be a
Mm,
negative in what
mm.
you're doing?
Yeah. Before a client comes to the door, let's just go through a scenario. A client comes to the door, and let's say, they've had a successful business, and, they're trying to figure it to the next level. And they just kind of like our mindset. We've been able to qualify people just because we're Christian oriented and that target audience. You get an individual that owns a cybersecurity company, for instance, one of our clients. He's a faith based individual, and he's like, I just want to do business with y'all. Like, this is where I want my marketing
Mhm.
dollars to be at. And it's like, just take over the SEO and PPC campaigns. Well, I don't like just throwing deliverables at the wall for the sake of throwing marketing deliverables at the wall. I believe that marketing for the sake of marketing is sort of a waste of money and effort. And so we're very strategic and holistic in our approach. We really want to move back to the beginning of the branding story. We want to make sure that a story is being developed. We want to make sure that your vulnerability and personality as a business is actually unveiled and comes to the surface. So before we
Mhm.
start messaging and targeting, trying to figure out where your audience is, we need to know exactly who it is that you are first, because the marketing will exist in the mind of your customer. And
Sure.
so you really need to figure out who it is that you are and who it is that you want to display yourself as before we start manipulating, if you will, the target audience market and their mind and how they perceive you. And I'm a big fan of just story building. I believe that stories resonate. I believe that the parables that we read that pierced our hearts so well, that's a story. It was a story. That's all it was. These Jesus was actually talking about individuals that, in this sense, didn't exist. It was just a man with talents. You can obviously make the correlation to real people in real life, but we believe that the story comes first. The brand is built around the story, and then we can figure out what the website is actually supposed to look like. What is it
Mhm.
supposed to feel like? Before we start PPC campaigning everywhere, we want to make sure that each one of those ads is a little bitty story in and of itself. And we believe that that's the best way um, to find your target audience. Now, the negative side of that is we do take a more personal approach to our marketing efforts. Some people just simply do want, give me a deliverable, like redesign the website. And it's not that we won't take that business, but some people, they hear about our in-depth process. They feel like they're too busy. They feel like it's like, oh man, this is a big marketing initiative that we got going on here. And so that might be a negative, and maybe we're not the right fit, and that's perfectly fine. We just want a more sustainable relationship with our
Mm.
clients and something that we actually partner with. I want to look back at their website and feel proud about it myself and be like, you know what, we're their marketing team, we're their guys and stuff. And people that just kind of like want like, another marketer, there's 1,000 marketers out there. You can find a marketer that
Sure.
will take your PPC campaign just like that.
And to delve into the negative side a little bit, I'm also curious because you've made it a very clear stand that this is a kingdom organization and kingdom
Correct.
marketing. Are you finding any negative responses to that? Because there may be some people out there that don't really like that kind of approach.
Yeah. I actually haven't seen a tomato thrown at us yet, but I have considered I have considered the eventuality of it. We are unapologetic about who it is that we are. On LinkedIn, on my banner, it says your business is a set of talents from God. Like there is no masking because we've been the burden's been lifted off of our shoulders to even
Mhm.
consider that. It's not really my message, and it's really not about me, and it's really not about this company either. And if negative press or negativity wants to come towards it, we've got plenty of verses that tell us about our persecution. And so we're prepared for that. But luckily, everyone that has come to us has been of a like-minded
Okay.
set of values, and we appreciate that. We really do.
It's, we battle not against flesh and blood, but those things and powers that are
Mhm.
out there. So sometimes
Right,
they come your way. So I'm curious
right.
about your expertise and what you offer. And then also a lot of people are interested in kind of actionable tips. So what would you recommend and what could you say to folks interested in your organization?
Yeah, if you want to actually go through a branding process and figure out what your voice is, I couldn't recommend better stewards than myself, my partner, and the team here at Kingdom Marketing. Like I said before, we're story builders, we're parable builders. And I just don't feel like a lot of companies, typically like within that $1 to $10 million range, it's kind of like if we started a company, we put a logo together, here's our services, here's our offerings. We found some success in it, but for some reason, traction stopped, or we just need to get to the next level. We
Okay.
believe that that next level is achieved actually through a good brand washing. Let's go back to the board. It's never too late to go back and reassess your strategic branding outlook. It's good to actually take a holistic view of that,
Hmm.
a few times throughout your company's lifespan. It's just not something that we want to set once and forget about it. And so, if it's time for that, we love hearing that story. We want to develop that story with you. It's typically a 3 session process with us
Okay.
where we build an entire roadmap. I mean, an entire roadmap. We'll go through your psychographics, demographics, target audience, the look, the feel, the why behind it, the kingdom oriented perspective of it, if you will. Let's figure out some initiatives there. And once we're done with that, then we'll get into brand identity. We'll figure out
Hmm.
the typography, the reason why each curve of the letter is the way that it is. We want to know why we're doing everything intentionally. Nothing is done by mistake, and everything is intentional. And so the colors and how to use the logo, how not to use the logo. And then as we develop websites, if you need a new website, we take all that information that we just garnered and gathered and build out a beautiful website for you. And then we move into initiatives. We're full suite. We do it all. And so if our initiatives that we have found out after all of this research, and we're talking probably 40 hours worth of just laser focused research at this time, then we know, what? It serves us best to do local SEO, social media management for you. PPC is a waste of money. Or someone else, what? Your target audience is actually on TikTok and Instagram. That's where we need to be. That's where we need to live. So it's that process of getting to know you, that intimate relationship where we know the executable dollar that is being spent in the right way. Okay. So much marketing money is just wasted on the shotgun spaghetti approach. Let's see what sticks to the wall. And I understand that strategy, you just can't absolutely prove that a strategy is going to work. That's not the definition of what a strategy is. It is an idea and a set of initiatives, plans that we're going to put into place, but thoroughly curated for you. And so when it comes to tips and tricks and stuff like that, get with someone that is going to partner with you and take an intimate look at what it is specifically that you need to do for marketing. Just what some guy on YouTube said, you got to do SEO. You got to do it. It's like, do you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Got it. Very interesting. We talked about the changes, the hot topics, your unique approach and unique organization. You've got to say that as well, too. How, now that people have heard something about what you do and how you do it and what the purpose behind your company is, how do they get a hold of you? What would you recommend?
You can go to our website. It's TryKingdom, TRY, TryKingdom.com. And there's a form there that you can fill out. I will actually personally reply to you to start that relationship. And then we will actually have a 30-minute discovery session to see if we're the best fit for each other. It's very non-salesy. It's just me trying to sharpen iron with you for 30 minutes and see where we land. If you like what you hear, sweet. We can figure out what's next. If your brand is just absolutely pristine and the faith-based marketing company, that's awesome too. We'll take a quick audit and see how everything looks, and maybe we should move directly into executable initiatives that we'll figure out. There's no cookie cutter examples here at Kingdom Marketing. It's all personalized. So TryKingdom.com, and let's just get activated. That's the thing we say around here. Let's get activated. We're very optimistic about that.
Said that a couple times. Yeah, let's get activated. Yeah. It's like, yeah, let's get activated.
Right. It gets you jazzed up a little bit. It's all right.
William, thanks so much for taking some time out and learning a little bit more about your organization and all the things that you. I appreciate your time and appreciate you taking some time out to chat today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You bet. So, William, thanks for being our guest today. And if you want guests like William and get activated, keep on coming back. Like, subscribe, positively review, and share the Dr. Digital podcast. I also want to thank all the sponsors. We got a couple sponsors for both Burning America and On Track Ian Hunter for their support of the program. So until next time, this is the Dr. Digital signing out. Deus Volt.